Hi, I'm Holly Lucas, agronomist with Pioneer, and I'm here in my Yield Champion soybean field with Parkinson's Farms. This is our high yield area of the field that we've identified. We're growing P09Z79 Enlist soybeans in here, so we've got the best of the best genetics planted. If you saw my earlier video this year, we waited for the field to get, so conditions were good for planting. Planned the field a little bit later than we wanted, but made sure those conditions were good to get the field in. So throughout the rest of the season, we identified 3 areas of the field. So I'm standing in the high yield part of the field, and you can probably see behind me, there's a little white flag midway up the hill that there's a moderate yielding area of the field. And then towards the top of the field, we identified a lower yielding area of the field. And what we wanted to do was we soil sampled these sites in the spring, and then we wanted to do tissue sampling throughout the season to kind of see what was going on within the plants between these 3 areas. And interestingly enough, so today I'm collecting our last sample. So the last sample just kind of gives you a good summary of what was going on in the field and whether or not there was some excess nutrients or some lower levels of some nutrients that you could address in another year. But what we learned from the last sample, so first sample was taken at first flower, and then the second sample was taken around R3. When the results came back, we learned that the potassium level in the leaves was low. And we knew that going in, that the soil sample was lower in potassium than we would have been liked. Still okay, but on the lower end of the kind of high yielding soybean recommended levels. So, and as well, boron and zinc were kind of in that ballpark too, a little lower than we wanted. So we knew we had some nutrient really challenges, but just some things to watch. And interestingly enough, our last tissue sample really kind of gave us a good picture of what was going on in this field. Early on in season, the leaves on the lower yielding part of the field had a lot of sugar sitting in them. And when you look at the nutrient guidelines, potassium and boron are really important for loading sugars into phloem, which kind of just finished off our story in that I think overall between these 3 areas that there is an organic matter difference in this field. You probably made the conclusion, same as I did early on, that we probably thought there was some erosion of some topsoil from the top of the hill to the bottom, from years of tillage in the past. And that is indeed true. But on top of that, we have just an additional level of lower potassium and boron also in the soil that is contributing to, those 2 nutrients contribute to sugar loading into the phloem, which especially early on in season, that contributes to growth, and then now it's contributing to grain fill. So I think we've got a good idea of some areas of the field we can address, with both of those nutrients going forward, and try and bump up those yields in the moderate and the lower yielding part of the fields to kind of get within range of the higher yielding part of the field, and that's going to give us a better overall field average. So kind of an interesting story of the plants actually kind of corroborated our story that we thought going in the spring, that they were indeed, there's a couple nutrients we can address and to get the yields on this field better than they've been in the past. So thanks for taking a few minutes to listen, and fingers crossed when the combine rolls through this field. These beans look really good. RZ series soybeans are definitely top of the industry, and walked through this field and didn't see any white mold, so that's always a thumbs up too. Thanks for listening.